fully funded. You should have MS degree, or if you want to go directly to PhD after PS, it has CGPA of 3.5 out of 4. For direct PhD, it is 3.5 out of 4 CGPA, and for the PhD after MS, it is for application 3 out of 4. You can apply, but recommended is 3.7, 3.6. For this course, now you can apply. You cannot apply without IELTS score. You should have IELTS score of 6 or above bands. And now Duolingo is added in this spring admissions. So Duolingo score of 105, you can apply. If you join the department, you can give your IELTS later at the end of the first semester, and you can provide your letters if you get an admission. But it was the rule before, but you cannot apply in the spring semester without IELTS and Duolingo. 2 recommendation letters are required, which your teachers will fill online. If we talk about the research areas in the chemical engineering department, there are many departments like catalysis and reaction engineering. You can go on the faculty website. You can check professors and their research areas. Catalysis and reaction engineering, many teachers are working on this area. Dr. Muzahir, Dr. Nurul Nabi. Separation and treatment, Dr. Umar and Dr. Isam is working on in this area. Process modeling, optimization. Mr. Hafiz is working in this area, and Dr. Umar is working in this area. Dr. Abdul Ghani, our advisor, is also working in this area. If we talk about renewable energy, me and our colleagues are working in this area. Dr. Abdul Ghani. Artificial intelligence, again, Dr. Abdul Ghani, Dr. Umar, Dr. Usama, they are working in this area. Polymer science, Dr. Johannes is working in polymer science. So if you go on this website, you can check different professors with their research and with their email. You can take you can talk to them before admissions. If they are ready to supervise you, it will increase your chances. You can put their acceptance in the admission, but it is not mandatory for the admissions. You can talk to them and take their acceptance for admissions. So as a MS student or as a PhD student, what are the routines? Usually on the working days, we have a lot of work. Usually the students wake up in the morning and after breakfast. For the students who are doing research, they usually go to the labs and do their work. If they have classes, usually on alternate days like Sunday and Tuesday, for the MS students, they have teaching assignments with the teachers. They must attend their classes with these teachers, and if the students need help, they can reach the MS students. Undergraduate students, if need help, they will reach to the MS students through Teams or emails. So those are you can answer on your times, but usually you have to take classes in the morning. Then you can go and do your experiments, and you can meet with teachers, advisors. For the assignments, usually students do after the classes in the evening, or if you have time, you can do during the day. For the graduate students, classes are always in the evening. So classes will start after 5:20 in the evening, usually. There are many facilities, gym, sports you can do after that. Shopping trips, yes. You can go, as I told, weekdays are very busy. Over the weekends, you can go to the community center with families. But if you want to do shopping, there are shopping trips separate for the male and female students. They can go and buy their items, groceries, anything. As I am a MS student, so my advice will be, even if you are the PhD students, it is recommended in the first 2 semesters, because the courses in our department are 10 courses usually for PhD and 8 courses for MS students. So in the first 2 semesters, you do not have time because of the assignments, busy schedule in the morning and evening. So you cannot do research in the first 2 semesters. So it is recommended you can go for the courses, try to clear them, maintain your CGPA above 3.5, because it will improve your chances for the PhD or for the postdoc. So it is recommended to clear courses in the first 2 semesters, improve CGPA. There are 6 courses in the chemical engineering department which are core, and 4 courses are elective for the PhD, and 2 courses are elective for the MS students. So it is recommended. Sorry, 4 courses are core courses, and 3 courses are elective for the MS, and 6 courses are elective for the PhD. So you can go with taking 2 courses like thermodynamics and math 513, which are core courses, with some elective course which is easy. You can clear those courses like this. If we talk about the third semester, MS students particularly can take 1 course and 1 independent search. Independent search will not be counted in the CGPA. It will take, but 3 credit hours will be counted. So if we talk about MS students, they can go for 1 elective course and independent search. They can complete their lab work, experiments, and so they have some points to present in the seminar. In the fourth semester, you can make the analysis and write your thesis. If you do not complete your thesis in the 4 semesters, you can take a fifth semester to clear your MS. But it is not fully funded now. So you can, if you want to fund your studies, you can join MS in the KFUPM. And thank you from my side. If you have any questions, you can ask or in the question session. Thank you, Hafiz.
Okay. Thank you, Intisar. That was a really.
Wait a minute, Hafiz. Wait.
Yes.
Okay. If you want to join, if you want to work in the AI or in the renewable energy, you can join our lab, fuel characterization lab 424 and lab 102. There is a lab in the university, and you can also check Dr. Abdul Ghani's. Uh, uh, you can also check the. Can you share? Can you see my screen, Hafiz?
Yes, yes. Your last slide.
Okay, you must not slide. I want to show the. Wait,
No, no, no.
wait, Hafiz.
We can only see your
Okay,
last slide. Uh,
okay,
there
okay.
is your
Okay, now you can
left.
see.
Okay. Yes, yes, we
Okay,
can see.
if you want to work in the areas of fuels, machine learning, as we are working, and we are also working in the renewable energy. Hafiz is working in the simulation and machine learning. So if you want to join work in these areas, you can check the profile of our doctor, Dr. Abdul Ghani. It is his email provided here. You can reach to him and ask for the his supervision, or you can discuss your admissions with him. Okay, thank you, Hafiz.
Thank you, Intisar. That was nice presentation, Intisar. So before everyone asks you a question, I would like to ask you a question first. My question is only like, why you quit your job as an engineer and you decided to continue your career as a MS student?
Okay, because I was working as a process engineer in the textile. So if we say textile is not, you can say the process is simple. There are very less opportunities for learning. So I switched my career back to academics, because I want to be a researcher, and I also want to join this academics to continue my studies. So I shifted towards back to the academia and continue my MS in the KFUPM.
Okay, that's all for me. Maybe the participant has a question. Just raise your hand and try to ask Mr. Indisar uh, about everything that you want to ask him. Is there any question so far? Or maybe you can say it in Indonesia, and then I try to translate it into
If
English.
you, if anyone wants to ask question, they can type or they can ask.
Okay, I think there is one uh, participant that want to ask you, Mr. Wahyu Wahidin. Please unmute your microphone.
Okay,
Yes,
ask. Hello, Wahyu.
thank you so much for the opportunity. I am Wahyu. I am coming from Aceh, graduated from chemical engineering also. So very interesting presentation, Mr. Hassan. And I love the story how you speaking. Then from your experience you mentioned before. So here I have two questions regarding your study at the campus. So at CAUS especially. So first, there is something in my mind that when we are applying to that scholarship, like an experience in research before previously, like we have to have a publish a article, a paper, like in Scopus, index it or not, based on your personal experience. Then my next second question is about recommendation letter when we want to apply um, the scholarship to to KAUS. That mentioned we need to attach the recommendation letters, right? So
Okay, okay. Thank you,
experience
Wahyu.
where you got that to, or we have the experience, or we have the project together, or can be our lecturer, or that's something someone very impactful in our region, because I know that some of my friends are also using the recommendation letter, like from the alumni, also from because in Saudi Arabia also seeing that recommendation letter is part of an important way to be selected in the uh, yeah, that's and then the second, I see that we can use Duolingo also. So is it okay if we just apply Duolingo for that, or how to face with that? Thank you.
Okay, first question was your related to the recommendation letters. These are not the you do not need to attach. These should be you will provide your emails and your doctor with which you have worked in your undergrad. They will provide online. They will receive a link after you provide the email, and they will fill it online. So they do not need to be attached. So it is recommended. So in the undergrad university, you are working with a professor, with your advisor. So it is recommended you take recommendations from them. You will provide their email and they will fill online. So first priority should be the teachers you are working with in your undergrad, and then you can go for the alumni. If See, Vahu, your admission depends a lot on your SOP, statement of purpose, and your admission letter, on your recommendation letters. So these should be provided professionally. So if your alumni provides a good recommendation letter, you can go, but it is recommended you take recommendations from your undergraduate teachers because it will have a lot of impact on your admission. What was the other question?
How impactful the publication
Oh,
to be
okay.
accepted?
Publications are not very essential actually. The total admission depends on your recommendation letters because in my undergrad I do not have any uh, publication. I applied without any publication. So if your recommendation letter are very good, your statement of purpose should be very good, and your CGPA is above 3.6, 3.7, you will definitely get admission offer. So it is not mandatory to have publications in your undergrad, because very less students publish their work in the undergrad. So it is not mandatory to have publications in the undergraduate. So any other question you have?
What about that, Mr.?
But the language.
Duolingo. Oh, okay. Duolingo is added in this semester in the spring admissions. It was IELTS and TOEFL before, but because the students are applying more and they do not have IELTS score before, so they have added the Duolingo score. You can register and upload the registration email, and after that you join and get an offer. You can provide Duolingo scores later. It is for all the English scores, IELTS, Duolingo, TOEFL. You can provide it later. You can upload the registration email, and after the admission, you can provide it. It is not a big deal.
In this, sorry, I think it's mandatory for this year's.
This year,
The English
it
is
was.
mandatory. No, it's mandatory.
But if we provide the they are saying if you have the registration email, you can apply, but you can provide it later. But it is recommended to provide it in the convenience when you're applying, because if you register today for the Duolingo, you can get like results in 2 or 3 days. So some
I just took a person yesterday to register the application, and then the English test is mandatory for now. So it means you have to provide your English test. It's not like our.
Okay, sometimes registration email works. Maybe this time they have changed the rule. Before it was the work, they can upload the registration email and they will get the admission offer. After that they provide it. So you can confirm the requirements now on the admission portal. Usually. These are provided on the admission portal. Any other question, Vayu? Always.
Okay, enough. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vayu, for the questions. Is there anyone else? Perhaps you can ask him in Bahasa Indonesia and I will translate it to you. Or you just can write your question in the chat section. So if there is no question, I would like to ask you about what did you do as a process control engineer in the textile company? Because I wasn't familiar with the textile company before, so I need to maybe to explain me about something in the textile company, especially in process control field.
In the textile, there is a lot of work in for the process engineers. So I was in the production department where we dye the clothes for the winter wear, like hoodies, for the winter sweatshirts. I was in the dyeing department. So there is mostly we have to meet the parameters for dyeing, like the pH or the other parameters of the tank. For the chemicals we have to take care. So we have to control the parameters on the system. There was a software or Catex. So we have to maintain all the parameters, temperature, pressure, machines, and the pH and the chemicals which are used for the dyeing. So we have to maintain their record and maintain their system so that the dyeing could be done accurately. So we have to maintain, usually they maintain their parameters, maintain the process through the Catex software.
Okay, thank you, sir. If there is no more question, we can switch to the speaker number 2. I think there are many questions, but they're too afraid to say it in English.
You can ask them and translate for me.
Yes, of
If
course, I
they
can translate
didn't,
it for you.
if okay, you can ask them and translate it for me in English. I can answer them.
Intisar, what is the most precious thing that you got after you got your master degree here?
Okay, there are like many things. I have made many friends because in Pakistan, uh, usually in your own country, there are people which are locals. When we go on an international level, you meet different people like Indians, Indonesians, and other countries from Europeans, Arab region. So the first thing you will make a lot of friends internationally. You will learn from them. They can learn from you. You can learn their culture, their habits, or the things the people do. Usually, I love what the main thing is. I came to know about different cultures and I made many friends. Usually, this is not possible here in Pakistan because the universities here in Pakistan are not very good ranked. So when you go to international level, the first thing is the friends and culture you learn from different people. This is the thing I learned.
You know, Pakistan is well known as the most hospitality country in the world, and you know, like every engineer, every mechanics come from Pakistan. They can repair everything. Is it very helpful for you? Like, you know, because of it, you have to work harder because all of the world know that Pakistan can repair anything. The Pakistani can repair anything. Is it make
Yes.
does it make you offer pressure on?
Can you repeat, Havis? I couldn't listen.
You know, I see many videos about Pakistani can repair anything. You know, like the
Yes,
mechanic,
yes.
yeah, the engineer can repair anything from the wreck metal into something good and valuable. Uh, does it make you offer pressure because everyone knows Pakistani can repair anything, can do anything? Does it make you offer pressure that like, oh, I have to work very hard to meet their expectation or something?
For if we talk about the people, yes, they are in Pakistanis are usually in every field, so there is a competition. But if we talk about the education, uh, as you know, in our department, professor do interviews for many students. So they are provided with a list. I talked to Mr. Dr. Abdul Ghani, and I gave him I talked to him that I want to work in this area. So usually I am among the first students who talk to him. So he agreed to supervise me after our graduate advisor, Dr. Nayak, at that time. I talked to him. Uh, so I told him, Doctor, I want to work in the renewable energy, and Dr. Abdul Ghani is also working in this area. So if we talk, because talking is the solution, I think, to every problem. If we talk to them, they usually agree because there is a limit for every professor to take a limited number of students. So it is you can talk to to, to take their acceptance, but it is the department's policy to provide that professor to you. At the end, usually, if you don't, you can get the same advisor with the which you want to work.
Okay, I think it's enough for us. Maybe we have to switch the session to the second speaker. We have Ms. Abdul Rashid uh, and Ms. Reda as a moderator here. So I will hand it over to Ms. Reda as a moderator. Thank you, Intisar, for your time.
Okay. Thank you, Avis. If you have any question, my email is provided. They can reach me. Thank you.
It is a honor for me and it's a honor for us to have you here and have a good day and have a good career after you graduated from KFUPM. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I will let Miss Reda take the webinar. Miss Reda, can you listen to me, Miss Reda?
Hello, sure, sir.
Okay, so I will hand it over to you and time is yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hafiz, for handing over the session to me. Good afternoon, everyone, and a continued warm welcome to our webinar series, Chemical Engineering Inspires. My name is Raida, and it's an honor to be your moderator for the second and final session of our webinar. So, our next topic for this afternoon is what it's like studying chemical engineering in different countries. It is a very important topic for all of us, especially for chemical engineers, considering the international academic pursuits. We will explore the diverse experiences and unique aspects of chemical engineering education across various global settings. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our distinguished second speaker, Mr. Abdul Rashid Waliowalo. As it said before by Mr. Hafiz, Mr. Abdul Rashid Waliowalo is an accomplished individual who was the best graduating student at first class honor in chemical engineering from Ladoke Akintola University, Technology, Nigeria. He has also gained valuable work experience as an engineering intern and is now pursuing his PhD in chemical engineering, specializing in clean energy at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, KFUPM, in Saudi Arabia. And his journey from a top-performing engineering graduate and professional into advanced academic research makes him perfectly poised to share valuable insight on our topic today. So, Mr. Abdul Rashid, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Are you ready with your presentation, sir?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Abdul Rashid Waliowalo, the virtual floor is yours. Please share your valuable insight with us.
I cannot hear you clearly. The network was breaking.
Okay, yeah. The floor is yours, sir. Please share your insights with us.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm very grateful and highly honored for being here today for this great opportunity to share from part of my experience that I've been able to learn from my mentor. I'm very grateful for my mentor that invited me to this great webinar. I mean, to be able to learn, because it's not only for me to present, but I also have been able to learn one or two things from here. Thanks for the opportunity. Jazakumullah khairan. As I was introduced, I graduated from, I'm from Nigeria, Abdul Rashid Aliu Alau by name. I graduated from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology here in Nigeria. And well, what I will be discussing today is why is it like studying chemical engineering in different countries? You know, the first thing we have to ask ourselves is there any need? For example, I'm from Nigeria. Is there any need for me to study outside the country? Maybe studying in Indonesia, studying in Pakistan, studying in Saudi Arabia, studying in the USA. Before you make the decision, you have to ask yourself: is there any need? Back in our undergraduate days, if we could recall very well, we can see most of the time you will just be hearing, okay, we're having a distillation column, you're having ion exchanger, all these things, we learned all these things based on, let me say, imaginary. Okay, we are designing a column, the number of trays, you'll be like, why, what is this whole thing about? Where you'll be working into mathematical analysis, you will just be calculating, all these things, we are just learning it based on imaginary, on imaginary sake. But in as much we have the opportunity to to be able to continue our study in other countries, you'll be able to see when they talk about distillation column, you'll be able to see, oh, this is a distillation column. When they talk about ion exchanger, and why all this? The reason being that they have the facility that it takes to carry out cutting edge research and other things like that. Therefore, in as much you understand the reason why you want to do something, then you work towards it. Since I understood all this from my undergraduate days, from my undergraduate days, where most of the time you just go into the class, lecturer will come in and be like, oh, today we'll be working on heat transfer. From the, from this temperature difference, all those things like that. Therefore, most of the time, in as much you get into the class, you will see. And you get into the YouTube, see what they are doing in Harvard. Maybe you attend, some of their classes where they also explain the same concept that you did in the class. You will see that there is a basic difference. And from this basic difference, that will give you an insight that no, you have to pursue your career in other countries because you will be able to learn and increase your knowledge. Even aside your knowledge, this the same thing, exposure to different teaching style. Because the way they are teaching here in Nigeria, it's not the same way they are teaching in Saudi Arabia. It's not the same way they are teaching in Pakistan. It's not the same way they are teaching in Indonesia. Also, knowing all these things, we enhance us to be able to get prepared, to prepare as early as possible as an engineer, as a prospective engineer, that will help us to be able to get ourselves prepared as early as possible. Introduction, as I was introduced, therefore, it is highly important that we discuss on this important concept this evening. As I know you are currently in the evening over there, we are in the morning here. Please help me. The next slide, please. Okay, as I explained, one of the things you have before you start anything, maybe during your undergraduate days, maybe your parents just tell you, Abdurrahman, you go and study chemical engineering, then you may not know the reason why you are into it. But as you are getting older, maybe you are about to graduate, you are about to finish your education, part of the most important things that you need to ask yourself is, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why do I want to become a chemical engineer? Is it because the way people are processing our raw materials, our our raw materials into our desired product? Is it that the way they are producing it, is it that it's not that good? Is it that the way things are synthesizing? Is it that the thing is not that good? Therefore, knowing all these things, we serve as a guide for us to know that, oh, this thing is highly important, which we need to make sure we work towards as early as possible. Then, from my experience when I was an undergrad, an undergraduate student, we have undergraduates who will benefit from this as well. As I was introduced, I graduated as the best student from my department. It's not something that just come. Just like a dream. It's not something that I just achieved in a day. I've been working towards it since I got admitted in my first year. And how does this thing happen? It may be like this thing is they are interlinked, but we have to understand. When you study chemical engineering, you have to work with your people. You can be the one to study thermodynamics on yourself, on your own. You study separation on your own. You study catalysis. Before you know it, you just give yourself a problem. Therefore, one of the ways to achieve a better grade is not limited to grade. For your research to achieve a great fit, you have to work with your colleagues. You have to work with your colleagues. As I said earlier, my mentor was the one that invited me to be here today, which is a great honor. Therefore, you have to work with your colleagues. They will be the one to guide you that, oh, this is what you need. When you get to this point, this is what you need. When you get to this point, this is what you need for you to achieve this, for you to have this in this course. This is what you need to prepared as early as possible. Therefore, in chemical engineering, in short, you have to be someone that you won't be like, I will do it on my own. It's never done that way. You can study Richard Cousin on your own. You can study, many textbooks. Therefore, in as much you have mentors, you have friends that you are working towards achieving the same goals. For example, one of my guys that we graduated together, he was admitted to University of Auburn in the USA. Therefore, he was the second best graduate student, and we started together as early as possible. Therefore, it is sincere advice to the recent, let me say, those that are currently an undergraduate students to survive in chemical engineering and the world this life at large. You have to connect with people. You have to connect with people. It's not just ordinary people. Let me clear it. It's not just ordinary people, but people that that your goals align. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you, sir. But you
Okay.
are disappearing for a while there.
No, that was due to the network. That was due to the network. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Is
was
it
the
okay
reason.
now?
Yeah, sure. It is okay now. It's okay now. Therefore, as I was explaining, one of the ways to achieve a better grade, aside grade, publication, and other things that will increase the chance of getting selected to all the top schools, as I said, one of my colleagues got admitted to University of Louisiana State University. My second person, the third person got admitted to Auburn University. All these things is, we've been preparing from our undergraduate days at 100 level, because we've seen the way things have been done in our own area, where a lecturer will just come to the class, and be like, oh, today we'll be talking on distillation, and we have the distillation column. We'll be like, how does how the distillation column looks like? You will see that the way our education is being handled in different countries is they are totally different. Therefore, that was the reason why I cited an example that if you go online now and search, okay, distillation column, or from University of Harvard, you will see how the thing will be explained. You will see the distillation column. You will see if it is a packed. You will know. You will see, and you will see that will increase your assimilation to see that, oh, this is how to calculate the height of a packed column, NTU multiplied by ATU, and other things like that. Therefore, all these things will let you get prepared as early as possible. That no, I need to make sure I further my education in other countries. As I've explained, the reasons for doing this are many, but let me give you some of them. The first one, it will expose you to different teaching techniques. As I said, if not due to YouTube, due to mentors that they are outside the country, they will be able to say, oh, here in the USA, this is how things have been done. It's not that maybe you have the 100% to be from only the exam and test. That's how things have been done in other countries like Nigeria here. Exam is 70%, test is 60%. Test is 30%. In some time, exam will be 70%, test 20%, and maybe continuous assessment in the class 10%. Things, the way things have been done in different countries they are totally different. Therefore, knowing all these things ahead of the time, where your mentors told you that no, where they are able to explain to you that no, in our country here, how things have been done is that, oh, maybe the 80% of the thing will be from the quiz, where the 20 will be from maybe the exam, and things, they make things easy and outside the country. Therefore, which is one of the reasons where we have to think in learning from other studying chemical engineering in different countries. The other one is access to state-of-the-art facilities and equipment. That was the reason why I explained earlier. Most of the time you will just be hearing several things, several chemical engineering equipment where that you've never seen with your eyes. And most of our lecturers, they will just come to the class and They will lecture. The only thing they will do is to calculate. You calculate, from here, as soon as, for AO exchanger, this is this you just be seeing things, and therefore, if you are able to, to move from your country to other country to be able to enhance your knowledge, to increase your exposure, you'll be able to see all these things and be like, oh, from this, for cell and two-bit exchanger, they say we have cell in this side, we have two in this side, for the auth, for the code, you'll be able to see it, with your eyes that, oh, what the lecture is all about. Then you'll be able to, anywhere you need the knowledge, you'll be able to remember. Also, studying in different, chemical engineering in different countries, another thing is opportunity for international collaboration and networking. When you study outside the country, it will enhance your international collaboration. As my mentor here, as if not due to that I want to study outside the country, hopefully we may not know each other. But since I take a step, I take a step that I have to make sure I get myself to the top. Therefore, we are able to see each other, and it is not limited to just academic, life. We discuss life, and I believe upon getting there, we'll discuss what is next, life after school. Therefore, upon getting outside the country, you will see things from this different perspective, and learning things from different perspective will make the country that we came from, or we come from, that will also make it to be better, because you, upon getting back to the country, you will change the system. And part of the things as in as much the education have a problem, one of the ways to kill the entire world, or let me say the entire country, is through education. If our education, our quality of education is not sufficient, there will be problem. There will be problem. But if the standard of our education is okay to the mass, there won't be problem. You won't see people that will be doing things in abnormal way. You won't see people processing materials in the way it should not be processed. You won't see people, even you won't see lecturers giving lectures the way it should not be. Some lecturers, they maybe when you are there in the class, maybe when they are in the lecture room, they will get to some point and be like, oh, hey, please, guy, go and watch make sure you solve the remaining make sure you look for the solution yourself. This is one of the weakest ways of training our future, because in as much the quality of education is decreasing, in as much the rate is decreasing day by day, week by week, before we know it, we have civil engineer. We have the civil engineers that will build. They will build complexes. They will build skyscraper, and there will be problem. They will construct bridge. There will be problem. They will see medical doctor. They will give injection. Before you know it, there will be problem. All these things. Even in the design of drug. As a chemical engineer, we can also partake in this. If the way we have been trained from, the way we have been trained from the way we have been mentored from the onset, in as much as it is not correct. Before you know it, in drug delivery and drug discovery, you just see that most of the drug that we're using is not up to the maximum expectation, and before you know it, there will be problem. Therefore, we have to take our education as important as much as possible. Maybe you are in your first year, you're in your second year, you are in your third year, you are in your fourth year, anywhere you are currently, you have to think back. Why am I doing this? You knowing the reason why you're doing this, we increase you to Tuma. Don't forget, you are also the family that you come from, the belief that, oh, have to be this in our family. In our family, we don't have any chemical engineer there, in your environment, they have expectation from you. Therefore, we have to make sure we take our education as much as possible. Aside that, it's exposure to different cultures and perspective. When you study outside the country, you will see that, oh, in Indonesia, this is how they do their things, and you'll be able to learn. And maybe in Saudi Arabia, this is how they do their things, in Pakistan, in other countries like that. Therefore, all these things, we increase the knowledge as much as possible. Therefore, and also, career opportunities. When you study outside the country, let me say it, in Nigeria here, even there are several industries, but the problem that we have, or let me say it, the problem is that is either you know someone that knows someone and knows someone. If not, the problem of getting to all these top industry, I don't know if the same thing is happening in Indonesia and other country other countries. But therefore, all these things, in as much you think from different perspectives, you see that no, the next thing is to explore more and have and study outside the country. And study outside the country is more it is not just on academic level. Only you'll be able to the career opportunity where you have access to work in top company, maybe after you graduate from a certain university like King Fahd now, which is a top university in Saudi Arabia. After that, you can proceed your journey, anywhere, in as much you get back to your country, nobody will just take you for granted. They will know that, no, this is now a process engineer, they will know that, no, this is a chemical engineer to the core, not just a chemical engineer in class only, where you can only calculate, you can design. When it comes to mass transfer, when it comes to reaction engineering, you just be like, we're just calculating only. But can you apply the Excel? Can you design the distillation column? Can you, how would I put it? Can you, what's this? Can you size a line? As a chemical engineer, our teaching methods, we have to work towards it. Most of the time in the class, nobody will teach you that, oh, if you want to size a line, this is the reason why we are doing this. Don't forget, we are working on fouling factors. Nobody will explain. But in as much you have the opportunity to study outside the country, you understand that, oh, I can now see in our undergrad, we talk about this, we talk about this, we talk about this. You'll be able to see it, and now the assimilation will, that will increase the assimilation. I mean, from just ordinary you joining, it will increase the assimilation from just being in the class. I mean, for the sake of just for you to pass, and and just to leave the university. You understand? Therefore, we can see now that different countries, they have different strengths and they have different weakness. I will advise, before you get out of your country, you have to identify what is the strength of my country, because in as much you did not identify the strength that your company, your country have, the weakness, that may make you not to perform, to perform excel in other countries, because the standard of education is totally different. If being a best student from your university, and you get to the top company, you to top countries like maybe like Harvard, KFUPM, you're going to meet with several scholars. Therefore, you have to make sure you get prepared ahead as soon as possible, since you know the weakness of your country. Let me say the weakness of your university, maybe where you're from, let me say, for example, in Nigeria, in Indonesia, in Pakistan, and that things. Knowing all these things ahead of time, because before you make a decision, that's, if you could recall from my first slide, I said, what the first thing you have to understand is there a need for this, and why? For anything for any decision you want to take in your life, understand the why, the reason why behind it. Why? In as much you can defend the why in anywhere you get to in the world, that will help you a lot. And in as much you have mentors, as I've explained earlier, that will increase your opportunity, because when it comes to publication, when it comes to learning engineering, chemical engineering softwares, chemical engineering softwares like ICE, like MATLAB, and many others many other like that. Therefore, it is highly important that one take this chemical engineering as as important as much as possible, because it is more than just taking the course in the class, solve mathematics, use Egon equation, using as much as possible. It is more than that. Most of the time when we're dealing with fluid decision, you will just see the lecturer will come to the class, they will be fine. You will just see what is the main content. Why fluidization? Is there any, because I know most of the time chemical engineering students will just, I don't know, let me say it from Nigeria here, just most students, they find it difficult, very, 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 very difficult. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe from your side, hopefully the same thing may be happening over there. Therefore, one of the things to solve the problem is, why? Why is there need for fluidization? Why is there need for separation techniques? Why do I need to, why do I need a distillation column? Why do I need a centrifuge? Understanding this, we enhance your knowledge. When you're talking about most of the time you're talking about absorption. Most of the time lecturer will just come to the class and be like, oh, today we'll be working on absorption, the factors, the factor affecting the temperature, all these things. We have to make sure we know the weakness of where we're coming from, and the strength of where we're coming from, because getting to another country is another journey on its own, which is totally different from where we are coming from. Therefore, it's better we make sure we get prepared as early as possible. And I believe this is part of, these are part of my experience. Let me say that I learned along the line. And for our undergrad, most of the time, maybe when you have a course that you find difficult, I could recall we did a course separation engineering. Then we did a course in filtration. I found the stuff very hard, because there are many equations you will just be considering, what you'll be having, what's this? We have several conditions. at a certain pressure, at a certain this and that. Therefore, I would recommend, maybe hopefully if you need more explanation, you can just go to Coursera, register, check the course that you want to understand. Is it thermodynamics? Is it reaction engineering? Is it mathematics? Just say the course. You are going to someone all these top online, where you can learn all these things for free. That you have to make sure you make use of YouTube very well. That will make it. Using YouTube, you'll be able to identify that. Oh, yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's a little.
Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. It's breaking up.
Oh, that's the reason why. It's due to the network. It's due to network issue.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me back now?
Yeah, no, it's a bit clearer.
Okay. That's good. Therefore, therefore, these are some of the things we have to make sure we take important as. Okay, can you finish it? Yeah, sure. Therefore, these are the things we have to make sure we take. We need to make sure we prioritize them as much as possible. Maybe you take a course in your class and you are unable to get the course very well. Just search on YouTube. Just search on YouTube. You are going to see many things as much as possible. This will increase your grade. From just maybe you are in a certain grade before, that will increase and enhance your competition. Therefore, in reality, studying outside the country is not easy, and the same thing is not hard. It's between the two. Therefore, in as much you have people that are here to guide you, to provide what you need. Oh, maybe you are taking a course now, because I'll be getting to the KFUPM soon. I'll be taking some courses. Before I start, even based on our discussion with my mentor, he even advised. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Therefore, in short, anything you want to do, make sure you get a mentor as available as early as possible, because thinking studying outside the country, maybe with the benefits, with other things and that, it also comes with a lot of constraints, challenges. Therefore, you have to get prepared as much as possible. Thanks for the honor. I'm very grateful. Please, I'm very sorry for this slide. My system developed the fault yesterday. That was the reason why I was unable to just to prepare a better slide. I'm very sorry. Pardon me for that. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm very grateful for being here. Thank you. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Rashid, for such an incredibly insightful and inspiring presentation. Your journey and knowledge that you've shared with us truly provide clear answers on the value of continuing our studies to different countries, especially for chemical engineering. Well, due to some trouble, to the connection trouble on Mr. Abdul Rashid, so he's breaking up right now, but we shall just continue. So to the Q&A session. So to all the participants, if you have any questions, please click the raise hand feature in Zoom, and you may unmute your microphone.
Hello, Miss Reda, can I ask questions?
Okay, sure.
Okay, I hope you hear me clearly, right?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
And
Can you
Mr.
please
Rashid?
state your name and where you're from?
Okay. Okay. I hope Mr. Rashid hear me. My name is Rahma Amele, and I'm a member of University of Jambi. And I have some questions for Mr. Rashid. Hope you hear me clearly.
Yes,
And
yes, I can.
okay. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rashid. What is input session? You already discussed what is meant to be chemical engineering and pursuing studies in different countries. As a new member, I'm a new lecturer here in University of Jambi. Somehow I find it challenging to teach students, especially in courses that heavily or complex studies like transport phenomena, chemical engineer, or so on. And I want to ask you, do you face similar situation that students are difficult to understand studies in complex subjects? And what approach do you use to teach such a complex material effectively? And I also agree that every student needs to find their own motivation, as you said before, their personal reason for choosing chemical engineering and for becoming the best version of themselves in this field. Maybe you have an experience where a complex subjects felt fun or at least challenging in a way that motivated them to pursue this major with their best effort. Could you share the experience with us? And maybe the second question is, for you, what is the main challenges you face while studying in King Abdullah University, both chemically and personally? Maybe that's all, Miss Raida.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm coming. Yeah. Thanks for the question. Yeah. In reality, that was the reason why I firstly emphasized and explained. Most of the time, let me say that more than 90% of the students find all these tough courses, transport phenomena. You just hear, okay, we are applying Bernoulli principle. Here, the velocity here is zero. The student will be like, why is the velocity here zero? Why is the pressure? You're going to have several concerns when you are taking student. As since my underlevel days, I've been taking several courses ranging from all those, the fundamental, which is chemistry, physics, and the like. Upon getting to the faculty as well, the same thing I continue taking tutorials for mass balance, energy balance. Upon getting to 300 level, the transport phenomenon, reaction engineering, ways. I mean, the solution we can only apply. It is everywhere. Students find all these tough courses hard. Even the same thing with me. But the solution I used is what I'm going to explain now. Most of the time, if we are learning new courses, or we are taking new courses, we are explaining to maybe our colleagues. The way to do it better is to use different materials. First thing, use different materials. For example, if you are maybe you are working on transport phenomenon, you have several materials. You can check online. Maybe you are working on a certain topic. Upon checking online, you will see maybe a professor from a top university, maybe KFUPM, any university in the world or in the USA. You will see them where they have explained. And when I had the problem with several courses like that, I always apply that method. And upon getting to online, you will see, people they are not sleeping. They are working day in, day out to make sure we get all these things easy as much as possible. That's the first way. You have several ideas that, this is the reason why the velocity is zero. Then you'll be able to explain. At this point, this is the pressure. This is the reason why the pressure in the inlet is the same thing as the pressure in the outlet. Most of the time you just see assumption. And upon getting to the class, to the lecture room as well, most lecturers, they will also say assumption based on Bernoulli. We have to believe that for the inlet pipe and the outlet pipe, the student will get confused. That why? In as much you can understand and explain the reason why. The reason why the velocity here is zero is because of this, is because of this. The student will get it easier. Another way is to come to their own level. For example, now maybe you are explaining a concept. You can be like, in our area here in Indonesia, where is the area that we have something like this? Is there a way that I can say, when you are coming from so area today, you will see that the way in which people are coming to this area is higher. That leads to the increase in pressure. Let me say, for example, if maybe upon student getting to the class, let me say we have just a one-way draw in. In as much everybody want to run out of the class, there will be pressure. In as much there is a build-up in pressure, you will use something that they will see that, oh, is this the reason why? For example, we assume, okay, here maybe for undergraduate days, we said, okay, let us assume an incompressible fluid, an incompressible flow. The student will be like, yesterday you said we have compressible fluid, today you said we have incompressible. The student will get confused. Therefore, you being able to say, oh, you don't forget, from the word compressed, from the word incompressed, word and opposite. If you say something is compressible, like a gas, you can, you will be able to explain that, most of the time when we are working on water, you said, oh, water is incompressible, all those things like, assumption. Therefore, you being able to explain it, they will be able to get that, oh, okay, assume a gas in your cylinder, you can see the gas is compressible. Is water compressible? You use something like that to explain, to analyze, to justify the assumption being made in the textbook, because most of the time chemical engineering textbooks are not well detailed. They are not well detailed at all. Most of the time you just see apply equation 4.2, hence S is equal to 2. You'll be like, how? Therefore, being able to explore more, and based on that, being able to explore more, checking YouTube. Some solutions are also the same way. Even if you check it online, you won't see anybody that solve it the way it should be. I could recall when we are taking a reaction kinetic engineering, then in 400 level in my fourth year, there was a question. I was like, what's going on? The question was not explained in detail. The question just said, okay, from the diagram you can see that we have this, or we have this, assume this. The answer is, why is the answer this? Now the professor said, anybody that get the right solution, actually I don't think the professor also know the way out, but that day he was able to motivate us that, oh, anybody that get the solution, I'm going to give the person this so amount. Then I was able to reach out to my mentors, a professor in India, where he said the way the solution was prepared, there was an error. I still keep on moving. That there is an error in the solution, therefore the answer should not be that. Okay, I kept moving. I checked YouTube. I saw a similar problem where something like that was solved. Then from there, I was able to see. I applied something that I've learned in my mechanical engineering classes when I was in my mechanical engineering classes. Therefore, this thing that I applied, all this centroid, centroid application of centroid, we are going to say, okay, for the centroid of a triangle, centroid of this and this is 1/5 moment of inertia, Therefore, I was able to understand the course. I was able to understand the course. From there, I applied what I learned on YouTube. Then getting to the class, even the professor was like, no, this is very interesting. Therefore, most of the time, it's not always easy. And, being moving from, the family, the school, it's not always easy. But most of the time, being a new lecturer in the university, you have someone that has been taking the course earlier. Even the person will have several experience that, oh, when you're taking transport phenomenon, hopefully you may find this topic challenging to take. I will recommend some textbooks for you. Check this out. For example, now, if any student wants to take, if any student is taking Fourier series, I would say the student should just leave HKDAS. The student should go to John Bed, because Fourier series is detailed in there, where you have where the period is not 2 pi, where the period is outside of 2 pi, therefore, you being able to talk with someone that have been doing it before will make it easy. And also the second question, since I'm still here in Nigeria, but let me say the challenges that I think, hopefully, because I've been able to get some materials that we'll be using, which is part of it, is Fourier series, as I've said, Fourier series, aging value and aging factors. Therefore, I will advise our undergraduate student, please, any course that you are taking as you during your undergrad, please take it serious as much as possible. Even when I firstly saw the material on Fourier series, it's not just the undergrad days, but nonetheless, in as much you have the fundamental, you understand the basics, where you can think and be like, oh, when we are talking of Fourier, where is this Fourier? Is there any way Fourier transformation? Is there any way it was useful? Then being able to understand all these things, even when I saw the material, I was just laughing and be like, oh, Hey, that was then when I was taking this course when I was in my second year. You understand? Therefore, all these things will make it easy. The challenges I would have said I will be facing presently will be like, oh, how will I be able to, to cope with this 4-year series? Because when we are when we are being taught in our university, you have the chance. You can go for Laplace in the exam. You can go for Fourier series. Either of the two is okay. Therefore, most students, they find it hard to cope with Fourier series. More than 90%, they find it hard. Even during that semester, we are no more than 3 that we had A in all the faculties of more than 1,200 students. We are no more than 3 that we are able to add A. Therefore, for you to understand how people are they are facing a lot of challenges, and therefore, I was able to, to understand the course, what is Fourier series, changing the period, make sure you get yourself right, not to make mistake along the line. Therefore, I think the challenges should have been that, but since I've been able to interact with my mentors, they've been guiding me, do it like this, when you get there, do it like this, don't do this, don't do that, that will make it easy. Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Therefore,
Please.
these are some of the things that I used then. Anytime you're taking a course, just make sure you relate it to the real life problem. You relate it to the real life problem. That will make it easy for us not to forget. Because chemical engineering is more of imaginary. It's more of imaginary. Assume this, assume ISO compressible, you will just be seeing many things. But in as much as a lecturer, as a tutor, as a mentor, we're able to explain that, oh, the reason is this. Anywhere the student find him or herself in the world, he will be able to remember. Even being in front of anybody, he will be able to remember that, no, the reason this is this, and the reason this is this. I think that's my own my response to that. Ma?
Okay, thank you so much,
Welcome.
Mr. Rashid, for the answer.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the question and the answer for Mr. Abdul Rashid. We still have time for one more question. If one of our audience still have question to ask to Mr. Abdul Rashid, you can please click the raise hand feature and then unmute yourself and then ask the question directly to Mr. Abdul Rashid. Or alternatively, you can ask your question in Bahasa, and I will try my best to translate it to Mr. Abdul Rashid. Silakan kepada audiens yang ingin bertanya, bisa bertanya menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Nanti saya akan bantu translatekan kepada Mr. Abdul Rashid. Okay, sir, maybe the last questions from me.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Yeah, you said earlier that it's you saw how it's so much different from the facilities and the people in different country from your country, and how it can help to give us more opportunities. Now, so for the aspiring chemical engineers here listening today, can you tell us what some kind of expectation or realities check that they should prepare before they consider to study chemical engineering, especially to different countries?
Okay. Thanks for the question. One of the things that one needs to make sure, he or she check as much as possible is, the research interest. I said, in different countries, there are several things that we're facing. For example, now in the world now, there is a problem of global warming, the problem of global warming, carbon capture and carbon capturing and other things like that. Therefore, where you're coming from, you've been able to see that, okay, for example, maybe in Nigeria, you can see that the rate at which the temperature is increasing daily is more than expected. As a student who has been taking chemical engineering courses from the onset and understood everything from the class, we'll be able to be like, oh, I think in the class, when we are taking a course on this, we're told SO2, CO2, the student will be able to think and think back. Because in as much we are just taking chemical engineering based on imaginary that, okay, yeah, assume your basis for SO2, the student won't get it right. But in as much from the onset, we are able to see that, oh, the reason why we are taking this, don't forget your SO2 is high, is percentage, therefore that will make it easy. The first thing to check for you if you want to study outside the country, and after you've considered the weakness of your university, or let me say the weakness and the strength of your university, you need to consider the research interest. The research interest. Is this something that after a several year, will it be useful? In some countries now, if you are into water treatment, they will be like, what's this for? Are you going to be, what is this for? In some countries, if you go to the area of maybe water treatment and you're not specialized into another thing, it may be a problem, because upon you getting back to your university, maybe to your country, and you have the opinion that, oh, from what I've learned during my PhD, I think there should be an industry that will specialize in water treatment. People may not patronize, and your business might be at risk. Or let me say the research center might be at risk. Therefore, the first thing you have to consider is where you're coming from. Are we facing problems in this area? Let me say, for example, now renewable energy. Now, there is nowhere in the world where you will talk about renewable energy and people won't find it interesting. Therefore, you need to consider that, oh, in as much, let me say, after my graduation, I'm able to specialize into biodiesel, bioenergy, biofuel. You'll be able to see that, oh, after my graduation, I'll be able to apply this in my country. We are facing the challenges of unstable electricity. We are facing the challenges of increasing CO2 from cement industry, from oil and gas industry, from all those things like that. Therefore, knowing all these things will make it easy to make the decision that, oh, I'm going for this research interest. And you have to understand yourself. In the class, maybe you are the kind that understand transport phenomenon very well. You need to understand that in as much I understand transport phenomenon very well, I think I should go into the area of drug discovery and drug delivery, because it involves transport. Because the design of the drug, all these things that we're using, it involves some things that they calculate the movement from let me say, from your mouth, to your, therefore it involves transport phenomenon. Therefore, you have to understand yourself before you take any decision. Oh, am I someone that is totally good in transport phenomenon? Am I someone that is totally good in heat transfer? Am I someone that is totally good in catalysis? Am I someone that is totally good in separation? You knowing yourself will make it a good one for you, because you studying outside the country is more than just maybe getting there, getting money. It's more than that. It's more than that, because you are the one that proposed that, okay, I want to use this to capture this. I want to use this to, before you know it, you get in there, you may find it very challenging and very, 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 very not easy. Most of the time, even based on what you said you have interest in, and you see a why for you to go through it. You will find it challenging. What about something that you don't know from the onset? You don't know so area, you don't know it, and you just find it hard. Another thing that we need to take note is the area of our software. You have to make sure you take it as much as possible, be it MATLAB, be it Python, be it ISIS, be as much as possible, because you've been able to understand the weakness of your own country before you go to a new world. You make it, the system of where you study, to make it an easy one for you to cope in any way you find yourself in the world. I think this would be of great help.
Okay, thank you so much for the insight, sirs. So due to the limited time, so I'll conclude our sessions today with Mr. Abdul Rashid. So let me offer a brief summary of what we have learned today. So we clearly understood what the diverse experience and unique aspect of studying chemical engineering in different countries. And from Mr. Abdul Rashid insight and from his studies in Nigeria and Saudi Arabia, he highlights that the varied academic environments reaches opportunities and professional landscapes globally. And also, Mr. Abdul Rashid has highlighted how to navigate these international academic paths effectively, and he emphasized the importance of adaptability and leverage foundational knowledge and to embrace unique learning styles and sources offered by the different educational system. So once again, a massive thank you to Mr. Abdul Rashid for sharing his valuable experience and knowledge with us today. Your presentation was truly inspiring and will undoubtedly encourage many of our audience members to consider their paths for the continued growth. So now I believe the MC is ready to take over for the closing remarks and final announcements. So Miss Rizka, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Ms. Raida. Okay, a very remarkable discussion from both speakers. Thank you very much, and we hope that the session will enlighten us with new knowledge, especially for choosing our future paths. A kindly reminder to fill the attendance form, and the certificate will be distributed shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the plenary sessions. I would like to give another appreciation for our speakers, Mr. Rashid Waliullah and Mr. Intisar Ul Hasan, for the very insightful discussion. I will also want to thank the moderators, Mr. Hafiz and Ms. Raida, for leading a thoughtful and well-paced discussion. This event is proudly supported by Statuta Law Firm, Gelora Geoservice Indonesia, and Fapro Training Indonesia. And also thank to our media partner, Dosen Tekim, BelajarBerbagiID, and Teknik Kimia ID. We thank them for their partnership and for helping us to bring this webinar to a wider audience. Many thanks as well to the committee for their excellent work in organizing this webinar and supporting us throughout the webinar. On behalf of the entire organizing team, we thank all the participants for your time, attention, and active engagement throughout this webinar. Okay. Before we close, I'd like to share that today's webinar is just the beginning. This webinar marks the start of an exciting series, a continued collaboration between Dosen Tekim and Chemical Engineering University of Jambi. We are looking forward to bringing you more sessions with even more diverse and relevant topics in the next week. So stay connected, and we hope to see you again in upcoming webinar. Before we close, can we have a group photo session? Everyone, please open your camera. The operator, please accommodate the group photo session. Thank you. Okay, we will start with the first slide. Can everyone open the camera? Probably everyone was away from their laptop and can open their camera due to other problem. So the operator, please take the photo for the first slide. Okay, let's move to the second slide. Please open your camera. And the last slide. Okay, thank you very much. I think this all our today's webinar, and I would like to thanks all the participants here for staying until the end of the webinar. Thank you for joining us, and please expect for our next webinar series for the next weeks. We will inform you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.